In this lesson, we're still on exponents, but now we're going to talk about the power rule, okay? So the power rule, to raise them, now, hang on, got ahead of myself. Remember what I said about exponents being naughty little kids. And naughty little kids never do what they're told, and they're always a step behind, right? So when we added and subtracted, what did my exponents do? Nothing. When we multiplied, what did my exponents do? We added. Now we're doing the exponent rule, which is the same thing as a power rule. So it's an exponent rule. So if my exponents are always a step behind, they are going to multiply. So exponents always a step behind. So over here, I have a to the power of b, so my rule is to multiply them, a times b. Because, think about this, what does this really mean? It means I have x squared 8 times. But good golly, if that's to the 54th power, do you really think I want to write that out 54 times? No, that's why we create this rule. And then you could just add up all your x's. How many do you have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Or you can just multiply. They're a step behind. So here I have m to the 9 times 4 is 36. 5 times 4 is 20. Right? They're always a step behind, so they multiply. Here I have p to the 3rd, q to the 15th. All right, now, again, with my coefficients do what they're told. They're fine. They're always on task. They're never a step behind. So I'm still going to do 5 squared. What is 5 squared? 25. And then my exponents, they're a step behind, so they multiply, and I get x to the 14th. Here I have 2 to the 5th. 2 to the 5th is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 4. 4 is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. And then these multiply. X to the 10th. Be careful here. There's a 1 there. So I get y to the 5th. All right. Now be careful with your negatives. If you have a negative raised to an even exponent, it's going to be positive, right? Because a negative times a negative. So a negative 8 squared is 64. And then I get c to the 8th, d to the 18th. All right? Look at number 8. This is a negative 3 times a negative 3 times a negative 3, which is 9 times negative 3, still making it a negative 27. So if it's to an odd power, that number is still going to be negative, so be careful there. We get negative 27, x to the 6th. Over here, it's going to become even, right? So we get 5 times 5 is 25 times 5, so 25 times 25. I'm going to cheat because I should know this. And it's 625, m to the 24th, n to the 4th. Okay, number 9, 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2 is 1/8. And then I have a to the 9th, b to the 12th, c to the 15th. Okay, let's do some of these guys. So now we're going to combine them. I'm going to do this first, and I get x to the 9th, y to the 9th, times xy squared. So here I had to multiply them. Now that I'm multiplying them, what do my exponents do? They add. So I get x to the 10th, y to the 11th. Number 11, I'm going to do this part first. Your coefficient is a negative 1. That's a negative times a negative times a negative. Still, negative r, so really it's negative 1, r to the 21st, s to the 3rd, times r to the 4th, which is negative 1, r to the 25th, s to the 3rd, because I add them. Okay, let's go down to 12. Here, I have a negative times a negative, which is a positive. So I have 1a squared, b to the 14th, and really that coefficient is understood to be 1, so I don't have it there. And then I have 12 squared, which is 144, and then I have a to the 6th, b squared. When I multiply these guys, my kid stays the same, 144, and my exponents add because they're being multiplied. Okay? All right. Let's look at number 14. 2 to the third power, 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. And then I get a to the 6th. Here I have 3a to the 6th. Am I allowed to add these? Yes, my exponents are exactly the same. So remember, I'm going to add my kid, and my exponent does nothing. So we have 3 rules now that we're combining. And here's the deal. Do not make up rules. A rule is a rule is a rule. So if you're adding, exponents do nothing. Okay, let's look over here. I'm going to do this first. 3 to the 4th power is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So 9 times 9 is 81. And then I get x to the 12th, y to the 4th. I'm going to go ahead and do 7 squared to get 49. X to the 10th, y squared. In order of operations, do I add and subtract or multiply first? You have to multiply first. So now I'm going to multiply these guys. And I get 49. X to the 12th, y to the 4th. And now I have to ask myself, am I allowed, don't forget that negative, am I allowed to combine these? Are these exactly the same? Yes, they are. So I can do 81 minus 49, and I get 32. My exponent doesn't change. That's my final answer. Okay? All right. Now, I will do geometric applications in a different video.